Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
In the heart of Yuba County's wine country lies a quiet estate, surrounded by tall pines, a lake with waterfowl and fish, and room to party. Eat hearty. Engage in nuptials.
I do.
Sit quietly by the fire pit and sample Yuba Foothills Vintner's finest. Frenchtown Inn, just 38 minutes from Marysville, a world away from cares.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.
In the back, and be recognized by the chair. Okay. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Flores?
Present.
Supervisor Ziegemeyer? Here. Supervisor Baines?
Present.
Supervisor Conant?
Present. Okay. Lloyd Centers of Crossroads Community Church will be doing the invocation, followed by Lisa Herbert, Ag Commissioner for Sutter County, for the flag salute. Please remain standing.
This is the day the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We're so thankful, Lord, for your presence to give us life and joy and peace in our hearts. Thankful that you give us a purpose for life and that you bless this nation and the founding fathers. We're grateful for the privileges we enjoy here, that God has blessed our country and it's divine providence that we still exist. And I'm thankful this day that you grant blessings upon this meeting. Help us to be civil and orderly. Help us, Lord, to be considerate of one another. When the rich young ruler came and asked, what must I do to be saved? He said, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. So, Lord, help us to be considerate, to be loving of our neighbors and fellow citizens and fellow businessmen. So, Lord, we thank you for this time, that your blessing would be on our individual homes, most of all that you would have a relationship personally with us. And we're so grateful for that privilege. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lloyd. Lisa? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have 3 presentations.
If we could please have Mina York join the board members up front for a presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 2024 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month in Sutter County.
The tragedy of child abuse and neglect affects every community in California, touches the lives of far too many citizens. The threat to our children's welfare is demonstrated by a steady increase in the number and the seriousness of reported cases of child abuse and neglect. The observance of Child Abuse Prevention Month provides an excellent opportunity for all citizens to reflect on the tragic crime while reducing themselves to take an active role in child abuse prevention activities in their community. Sutter County Board of Supervisors proclaims April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Sutter County and encourages all residents to join with local efforts to keep all our children safe, strong, and free. Thank you. No, do the next one. All right, okay.
If Mina York could please remain up front for a presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Sutter County.
Okay, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Casa de Esperanza has led the way in addressing sexual assault by providing 24-hour hotline services to victims, survivors, and their significant others, responding to the emergency calls, offering support and comfort to those impacted by sexual assault during medical exams, criminal proceedings, and empowering those impacted by sexual assault to the charter of their own choice for healing. Sutter County Board of Supervisors, in recognition of the important work done by sexual assault programs in collaboration with the Casa de Esperanza, proclaims the month of April 2024 that no means no. People working together can make a difference in the fight against sexual assault and gender violence in our community.
Now I can say something. Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Mina. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator over at CASA. We've been around for about 50 years. For those that don't know, we're an emergency shelter for domestic violence survivors, sexual assault survivors, child abuse, and human trafficking victims. We currently don't have a public location for people to come visit, but that's going to change very, very soon. So follow us on Facebook for more updates. But thank you for having me.
I'd just like to say that, you know, CASA not only does work in Sutter County, does work in Yuba City, in Marysville, in Yuba County, helps both counties do remarkable work to help save people and make them sustainable lives. And I thank you for that effort.
Thank you.
Is there a third one? Yeah. Hold on two. I'll take one. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on both. There you go. Yeah. Need to get stick three.
We have a third one, but not one of those.
If we could please have Michelle Blake join the board members up front for a presentation of a proclamation recognizing April 6th through 12th, 2024 as Week of the Young Child in Sutter County.
Thank you. Okay, this is the last proclamation or presentation. Sutter County is home to over 7,000 children ages birth through 5. Yeah, a time when children's brains undergo the most rapid development, setting the stage for all future learning. Over the past 25 years, Sutter County Children and Families Commission has been at the forefront by supporting early childhood services, advocating for policy change, supporting the professional capacity of providers, serving thousands of families, investing over $26 million in the local community. Sutter County Board of Supervisors recognizes and celebrates the Week of the Young Child and supports efforts to encourage every child in our community that can thrive and succeed.
Thank you, Chairman Conant and esteemed Board of Supervisors, for recognizing this week as the Week of the Young Child. And on behalf of Sutter County Children and Families Commission, and along with all of the other dedicated professionals that give their passion, love, and service to children 0 to 5 and devote their time to early education and care, it's an honor to accept this award. And I do want to mention that in honor of this week, there are a variety of services and events and opportunities to join us to celebrate children. So please follow Sutter County Children and Families Commission on our Facebook page, and you will see all of the different events that we have planned for this week. We hope to see you all there, as you're all invited. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this group right here is incredible. I mean, literally from diapers, formula, car seats, everything else, education. Wow, when you see this group in action at these meetings and how much they care about this community, it is unreal. I mean, I truly believe they don't just come to work because they have to. They come to work because they love it, and what they get out is incredible because we just see everything. And we all saw the baby food shortage and the formula, and how you guys just jumped at it and took care of it. It was amazing. Great job. Incredible.
Thank you, Ms. Hill. 1 second. I just like to add a couple things. My wife was a special ed teacher for 36 years, and she always told me that those formative years from even 0 to 5 are the most critical years to get that child to development in the early stages. So do me a favor. If you have a child, a neighbor, a grandchild, one of your own children, go home. Read to them an extra half an hour tonight just to help get them that experience in life. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Public comment. Members of the public will be allowed to address the board on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter and jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. State law provides that no discussion or action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. Do we have any speaker cards?
Yes, we have 2 public comments. Our first public speaker is Tony Farley.
Okay, Tony, you're on deck.
Tony Farley, South UC, South Sutter County, near Hyde Park. Yeah, Carmen Baines is back. What's up, Carmen Baines? There's Mike Ziegler. He's another Star Wars fan. Yeah, I see Mike Ziegler. There's Dan Flores, Marysville Star Wars fan. Matt Conan. I don't know what fan he is, but he is a good fan. Deborah said today's international be nice to lawyer day. I like that. There's Steve Smith, Professor Steve. There's the Marine right there, the Marine. There's Scott Smallwood, the two-star under sheriff, and 4-star bad the bone sheriff. There's 6th sleeve Katie Parker deputy. And there's a battalion chief right there with the mustache. And there is Rick Harris, 5-stars guy there. Yeah. And Sarah the Viking, Arctic Viking. Her thing ever for his service. And thank you, Gina, and thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Next.
Our next speaker is Maggie Walker.
I don't know.
Hi, I'm Maggie Walker. Thank you, Honorary Chair, Supervisor Conant, and the other Board of Supervisors. I live right down the road off El Dorado. And I'm here to ask about the Standing Real Estate Committee cancellation again. I know it says Standing Committee, but I don't know when our last Real Estate Committee meeting was, you know. And I was sort of going to those meetings. I like to get information on what's going on with the real estate and different real estates that are being up either for sale or that they're buying. I like to know what's going on with that. And I don't know when the last meeting was. And I noticed that on Saturday's paper, it wasn't put in the paper that this committee meeting was canceled. There were other ones, I don't recall which ones, that said that they were going to be canceled. Knowing me, I had to go look on the meeting schedules for this week, and that's on the website, and that's how I noticed it had been canceled, or I would have been showing up with bells on my toes waiting for the meeting on the 10th. And I'd just like to be contacted to know when we're going to actually have a meeting, if there's, because it says standing committee meeting. So I just like to know when that's going to be taking place, because I like to be involved. And in not just one building, but all the real estate that have been discussed at that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speaker cards?
No, that was our last one.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. Consent calendar, items 1 through 18. The consent calendar groups together those items which are considered non-controversial, which prior policy direction has been given to staff and only require the routine action by the board. The chair will be advised the audience that the matter may be adopted by one motion. However, the board might, at its option or upon the request of a member of the public, consider any matter separately. What's the pleasure of the board?
Through the chair.
Yes, Dan.
Move approval of consent items 1 through 18.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay. Moving on to the first public hearing, or the public hearing.
Public hearing to consider amendments to Chapter 420 of the Sutter County Code of Ordinances relating to parades and also regulate special events in public spaces, adoption of a special events permit and resolution of the fee schedule, introduce an ordinance amending Chapter 420, waive the full reading, direct the clerk to read the title only, and continue the item to the April 23rd, 2024 meeting for adoption.
Okay, Taylor Kawada. How we doing?
Good. Good afternoon, Supervisors. So Taylor Kayada, Deputy County Administrator here. Before the board today is an action related to the special events and parades in the unincorporated Sutter County. In September of 2023, Yuba City implemented a special event permit application. And this action today would essentially mirror that process for Sutter County. So special events that move through Yuba City and into the county would be able to follow by the same kind of standard protocol. The application itself is very similar, and it would basically allow us to regulate the conduct of public spaces in the county. So Chapter 420 of our ordinance code has regulated loitering in the county since 1934. In 1973, we added provisions for special loitering provisions for those under 18, so essentially a curfew ordinance. And then in 1985, we added a parade permit ordinance, and this is also in that same chapter. So this action today would amend that chapter, and it would add something to cover special events more broadly. It would put special events into 3 tiers, which is when you have more than 500 people expected to attend, more than 1,500 people expected to attend, and greater than 25,000 people expected to attend. There's a recognition that some of these events are both parades and special events. So at the discretion of the county sheriff, we'd have the option to have you fill out both permit applications or just one. So currently in the county, if you have a parade, you have to fill out an application with the sheriff. That would continue if you have just a parade. But if your parade actually is more of a special event, which we describe in the ordinance as defined then you would have a different application where we require essentially more information to make sure that we're keeping the public spaces safe. Also, there's been an increase over the past several years, nationwide as well as around the world, of things going wrong at larger special events. So it's incumbent on the county to understand what's happening, to protect the people who go to those events, but also to protect the public at large. So some of the things that we're basically looking for in the application for special events, where we want to know you have insurance, who your vendors are, if you have alcohol, if you have a license for it, what kind of tents and structures you'll have there, a site plan, how are you marketing it, do you have toilets, private security, and waste management plans. So these are all fairly common sense, but it's basically bringing it in so the county can support these events. Again, to protect the people at the events and also to protect the county at large. The fee for the special event permit would be set by fee schedule by resolution, as we do for many other fee schedules in the county. So that would not be in the ordinance, that would be adopted by the board, and it could be amended in the same way. The application itself is also before the board today for adoption, and all that is included in your board packet. This also will be net neutral revenue-wise. It's just designed essentially that the fees that we will charge will cover the county's costs in providing essentially the support to these special events. With that, if there's any questions, I'm happy to hear them.
Through the chair?
Yeah.
If there's no questions, I move to approve.
Excuse me, Chair, if we could open the public hearing first.
Open the public hearing first, Garth. Okay. Open a public hearing. Is there any public comment?
There are no public comments.
Anybody from the public wish to comment on this matter? Nope. Closing public hearing. I bring it back to the board.
Move to approve.
Move to approve in motions and second. All in favor? Let's do roll call.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Aye. Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay. You're going to go, do you read the title?
An ordinance of the County of Sutter amending the Sutter County Ordinance Code by revising Chapter 420 pertaining to regulations of highways and sidewalks for parades, etc.
Okay. Motion to pass. Moving on to the first appearance item. Lisa Herbert will present the Ag Commissioner's item, number 20.
Approval of an adjustment to the fiscal year 2023-24 adopted budget, increasing appropriations by $96,234 within the Agricultural Commissioner's budget, Budget Unit 2601, offset by a reduction in permanent salaries to purchase services, supplies, and capital assets.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and members of the board. The title was pretty self-explanatory. We are looking to use permanent salary savings to do a number of purchases at this time. Due to Workday implementation, purchases will have to be done by April 15th, so we're expediting this agenda item today. For agricultural supplies, we need to purchase skid mount sprayer parts for our weed program, flatbed modification for some safety procedure for protocol. We're going to do some linoleum waxing for the department in the conference room that everybody shares. We need to purchase a new plotter, printer. We need to increase our travel budget due to my presidential travels. We would like to purchase a new vehicle, capital asset for a pickup truck. We have some plumbing equipment that we need to install a water bench. We've already purchased the water bench materials. Now we just need additional funding to place it into service. And we need to purchase a new electric meter tester. Electric meters are tested per mandate, and our electric meter tester has failed. So we would not be asking for any additional funding at this time. So we would be using permanent salary savings. About 80% of these items will be reimbursed through gas tax revenues next fiscal year. So not purchasing these items would ultimately cost the county general fund money in the next fiscal year. So there's no impact to the general fund at this time. Any questions?
Thank you, Lisa. Any speaker cards?
There are no speaker cards for this item.
Okay.
To the chair.
Board, do you have any questions?
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. I guess there's no discussion on it. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Aye. Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Moving on to item number 21.
Approval to appoint Christopher M. Chaplin, MPH, to the Partnership Health Plan of California Commission.
Hello, Honorable Chair and Supervisors. So the items before you today is a recommendation to appoint Christopher Chaplin to the Partnership Health Plan of California Commission. In compliance with the MADI Act, a vacancy notice was posted and advertised for the one vacancy to the Commission. Our office received 3 applications. Interviews were conducted by Sarah Eberhardt-Rios, Director of Health and Human Services, and Stephen M. Smith, County Administrator, and Mr. Chaplin is being recommended. Ms. Eberhardt-Rios is also here to answer any questions that you might have on the Partnership Health Plan.
Any questions? Yes.
I think that's an excellent selection, having Mr. Chaplin as our representative, and I just would make a motion to approve.
Second the motion. Let's see if there's any speaker cards first. Nothing. Okay.
There are no speaker cards for this item.
Okay, I'll make the motion again.
Second the motion. You got a motion and a second?
Yeah.
Roll call.
And hopefully we're going to hear from Mr. Chaplin a little speech or something.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Would you like to address the board? now you've got been saddled.
Well, first of all, thank you for the honor. I absolutely appreciate the nomination, and I look forward to serving you on the commission. I think we have a real opportunity here to improve the health care within the 2-county region. Leading up to this, we've been working together with the FQHC leaders and the variety of healthcare providers within the market to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. We will continue to do that. We've gone from 2 different plans competing with each other for beneficiaries and the provision of services to 1. I think that really gives us a leg up and an opportunity to really work together and improve the care. So thank you for that. We're going to continue to work, and I'll come back with reports on what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. That's been voted on. We're moving on to item number 22. Neil Hay, Director of Development Services, will present items 22 and 23.
Approval of an amendment number 1 to the cooperative agreement 03-0764 with Caltrans to increase the county's construction fund's contribution amount by $195,691 for a total of $1,695,691 for the installation of a new 36-inch drainage pipe under State Route 99 and associated manholes, approval of the project's specifics maintenance agreement TR-03-24-JV-04 with Caltrans, and authorization for the Director of Development Services or their designee to execute and administer the agreement and amendment.
Okay. There are no speaker cards. Oh, wait, Neil's going to, I'm sorry, Neil. I'm sorry. Yeah, he jumps the gun.
Worse than me.
Good afternoon, Chair and Supervisors. I'm having staff pull up essentially the intersection and the plan for the storm drain line. So since August of 2017, the county and Caltrans have been working together for the improvements at this intersection. And so now we've gotten to the point where Caltrans is getting the project ready to advertise for construction. It's our understanding work would begin this summer. So one of the final things that's being coordinated is the installation of a 36-inch diameter storm drain line underneath the highway with concrete manholes 72-inch diameter on either side in Oswald Road. And that's to facilitate the future storm drainage of the area east of 99 along Oswald Road. If you're familiar with that, historically it has no drainage infrastructure, and so essentially water ponds in the roadside ditches. So this would be a plan to capture that water and then convey it underneath the highway, and then we would have a pipe that would be on the underneath Oswald Road and would continue to the Gilsizer Slough. So in order to do all that, eventually we'll have to come before your board and the Gilsizer County Drainage Board in order to bring the property owners, the affected property owners into the district. But this is kind of some advanced planning that there's a cost to the county of $195,000 or so. It's included in your staff report. And but the work would be done by Caltrans and their contractor, and the county wouldn't have to do the work at a later date. Obviously, if the county had to do the work at a later date, it would be dramatically more expensive. We would be subject to all of the traffic control costs, having all the work done, and we'd have to get encroachment permits from Caltrans for the work. So we feel it's very timely. Like I said, we're trying to do some advanced planning, and the maintenance agreement that goes along with it is an agreement that essentially says it's the county's responsibility to maintain the storm drain line. So it calls out what Caltrans will do within the right-of-way, but it's our responsibility to maintain the drainage. And so it increases the county's total construction support of the project from the previously the $1.5 million to $1,695,000. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Mike, did you have something?
Yeah, I agree with you, Neil. I've actually asked some contractors about this, and it's the whole traffic, shutting down the traffic on 99. So I'm curious how they're going to do it. I'm curious. I mean, I'm assuming everyone I talked to said more or less just shut down half of it and go detour, and then shut down the other half and connect the two. I just wish. So they're going to leave us to maintain it.
Yeah, because it's going to service the county and the property within the county, then we'll be responsible. Certainly we might, depending on what the road crew and our equipment would facilitate, we'll have the proper inlet coverings in order to minimize debris from getting into the pipe network. But otherwise, it may require an occasional, every year, a jetting of the pipe, essentially to flush it and keep it clean so that we don't have any backups.
Yeah, just there's an orchard, isn't there? No, there's no orchard close by. They're all on
the west side of 99. There's an orchard on the south, and there's somewhat of an orchard on the north side. Then various residential developments as you get to Gilsizer, the slough.
So 2 questions, Neil. Any other questions? You have one? Go ahead, Carmen. Sorry.
So property owners in the past had mentioned that they would be willing to help in the cost associated with development in that area. Have you reached out to any of those property owners? Or it seems to me that the south side of Oswald is where the problems all come from. That water comes from the south and crosses over into the properties north there. And have you talked to any of those property owners?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. Through the various projects that have come through our department for processing, we've made property owners and applicants aware of the future need for drainage in the area. The last most recent project that was approved by your board on the north side of Oswald Road, east of 99, the Senga truck yard. So that included improvements that they have to pay for, drainage improvements underneath Oswald Road. And previously your board has also approved a contract with the consultant GHD, and they're actually designing those improvements for Oswald Road. I think as I previously explained, so Oswald Road from 99 to Railroad has a concrete slab underneath the asphalt because it used to be Highway 99. So in order to put in the storm drain network that the area needs, we're going to have to reconstruct the roadway, essentially tear up all the concrete, tear up the asphalt, while maintaining some traffic and all those type of things so that we can put in the storm drain system. But there is a mechanism where we would have to expand the Gilsizer drainage district to the affected property owners, so they would join that district because then their properties would benefit from the drainage that this system will provide. And then by them joining the district, and there's an assessment that they would pay that needs to be calculated, that would allow that water to drain into the Gilsizer Slough that's west of 99. So there are a few incremental steps that need to take place. Yes, we've talked to property owners on both sides of Oswald Road and made them aware of essentially what's coming and what the need will be because it'll benefit that entire area.
So, and then just another question real quick. So is this happening right now, or it's happening the same time when the intersection is actually put in?
So Caltrans would do this work when they are controlling the traffic to do, I'll put all the traffic signals in. They would do this work at that time. So that's why there is a dramatic cost savings, because the contractor's traffic handling plan, where they redirect lanes and all those type of things and close lanes, that their contractor is going to perform this work in various stages while the lanes are closed.
So 2 questions, Neil. One, this road pipe project, 36-inch pipe, this is going to come out of the road fund temporarily, correct?
Yes.
And then eventually it'll be paid back by the property owners that are going to get the benefit, correct?
Probably to some degree, yes. Probably not fully, because there's issues with if there's an existing deficiency, right? As there's just kind of some guidelines as to how much can be recaptured.
Oh. And then would this, when they get annexed into Gilsizer drainage, would this be a voluntary thing for them to sign up, or are they going to be mandated to do it? How are we going to do that?
So it's voluntary for them to sign up for it. If they were not to sign up for it, then their properties would not benefit, their drainage. So then they would then have to begin controlling their drainage on site.
Okay. So maybe this would eliminate some of their retention ponds.
Right, exactly. Or those that do not have retention ponds will need to put them in so that they do not, because they're not joining the benefit district, so they don't receive the benefit.
Okay, answers my questions. Thank you, Neil. No speaker cards?
No speaker cards for this item.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Oh, moving on, item 23, Neil.
Authorization for the Director of Development Services to execute 2 subordination agreements related to previously recorded deferred improvement agreements for parcel 013-060-011-000 Burtis Ranch.
So this matter pertains to a map that was recorded back in 2009, and it was to essentially parcelize and create 7 lots along some county property out in the vicinity of Meridian. Subsequent to that, the property was never developed for residential purposes, and our department was recently contacted because the property is in the process of being sold. So when the map was recorded, the county, our department, provides essentially the property owner can either make frontage improvements along the affected county roadway, or they could defer those improvements. And to defer the improvements, an engineer creates a cost estimate for the work to be done, and then a deferred improvement agreement is recorded. So there were 2 on this property because of the way it was essentially split. Those properties then are considered a lien against the property. So with the potential transfer of property, the county was contacted because the liens need to be designated to be in a secondary position or subordinate to what would be the primary, we'll say, mortgage or financing for the properties. So the deferred improvement agreements, there's upwards of about 300 in the county, in all spread throughout the county. Like I say, they were a kind of a standard course of action to where instead of property owners making the improvements, they could defer them until some time that the county called them in and felt they were necessary. To this date, there's really only been about 1 or 2 that have been called in, but they continue to be out there. So in dealing with these property and to allow the sale to go through, county council was involved additionally with the financing company, and prepared what are termed the subordination agreements, and they've been included in your packet, and seeking the authority for you to grant me the authority to sign and execute them on the county's behalf. And so it maintains that the county continues to have the deferred improvement agreements, that it's our understanding that the property is currently an ag use. It's going to continue to be an ag use. The other alternatives to this is that we propose is that the one, they could either make the improvements that were spelled out, or two, they could give the county, my department, a check for the cost of the improvements, and then we would put that into an account, and it could essentially accrue interest until at some point the county needed to make the improvements. The other option is to, like I say, continue the deferred improvement agreement, but it's classified as in a subordinate position, and that's what the agreement does. But the county still preserves all of our rights that should development occur in the parcels in the future under, this owner or subsequent owner, because the deferred improvement agreements, they run with the land, and so all successors have to maintain and are bound by the obligations. So essentially, we're just proliferating the deferred improvement agreement and still maintaining our authority to call it in should development occur. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
No, I reached out to, all the applicants reached out to me and we talked about it. And I mean, this is something that's going to literally stay back in agriculture. So I support what staff is recommending.
You open up to the public, or what do you got?
No, I'll just make a motion to accept the recommended action.
Second.
Second. Yeah.
Second.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Aye. Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Okay.
Excuse me, Chair. I just going to read the ordinance for that one real quick. An ordinance of the County of Sutter. Oh, no, I apologize.
She was just testing you.
Right. Yeah.
Go on to item 25.
We're done with that one. Okay, 24.
5.
Presentation of the 2023 Sutter County Domestic Violence Council and Child Abuse Prevention Council Annual Report.
Yes. Michelle.
Hi, Chair Conant and Honorable Board of Supervisors. My name is Michelle Blake, and it's been an honor to have led the Sutter County Domestic Violence and Child Abuse Prevention Council as the chair in 2023. So today I'm here to present the council's 2023 report and share with you the many strides that we've made this past year in our relentless fight against domestic violence and child maltreatment. So the council has one unwavering goal: to diminish all forms of domestic violence and child abuse in Sutter County. So we achieve this through a collaborative, multidisciplinary approach, ensuring our actions align with the California Children and Family Services Review to bolster prevention efforts and enhance outcomes for children and families. So in 2023, we focused on 3 critical areas that you see here: our organizational committee, domestic violence, Domestic Violence Response Committee, and our Community Education and Prevention Committee. And our organizational committee, we'll begin with that, has been instrumental in maintaining the council's voice on domestic violence and child abuse issues. So a notable achievement this year was the creation of our first Sutter County DV-CAP logo that you see here on the PowerPoint presentation. This new visual identity symbolizes our unified commitment in eradicating domestic violence and child abuse in our community. Additionally, our committee collaborated proactively with other councils and the State Office of Child Abuse. And these partnerships have actually brought new projects, such as our event that we held last week, the LISA Project, and funding to Sutter County, further strengthening our efforts to protect our community's well-being. So our DV-CAP meetings are held every other month, and they are platforms for sharing updates, discussing new programs, and monitoring initiatives like our ACES website and the Handle with Care project. Our Domestic Violence Response Committee comprises of dedicated members from our Yuba City Police Department, Sutter County Sheriff's Office, Sutter County Victim Services, and Casa de Esperanza. This committee works tirelessly to gather and analyze data to provide the council with a clear picture of the state of domestic violence in our community. In 2023, we observed some concerning trends in our domestic violence statistics. You can see these statistics on pages 6 and 7 of the report. So while the Yuba City Police Department reported a slight increase of 6 incidents compared to 2023, our Sheriff's Office experienced a significant rise with 41 additional incidents. This disparity certainly highlights the varied nature of domestic violence across different jurisdictions just within our community of Sutter. So looking at the data over the past 4 years, again, pages 6 and 7 of the report, we definitely see fluctuations in the number of incidents, but a troubling constant remains, and that's the presence of children in many of these situations. In 2023, our Sheriff's Office reported that 40% of domestic violence incidents involved children, and that's a notable increase from our previous years. And the statistics is a stark reminder of the far-reaching impact of domestic violence, not just on the immediate victims, but on the youngest and most vulnerable members of our community. Casa de Esperanza, as we all know, you just awarded them a lot of proclamations. They are a beacon of hope for many in our community, and they have also provided valuable insights. In 2023, CASA received 325 calls for initial client contacts, with over half of these cases involving children. This consistency in numbers from previous years indicates that ongoing need for support and resources for families affected by domestic violence. And furthermore, our Victim Services has reported an increase in the number of domestic violence victims they assisted in 2023, with 496 individuals associated with criminal cases and additional 54 without criminal cases. So this rise in victims seeking assistance from our Victim Services is a testament to the ongoing challenges we face in combating domestic violence, yet the critical importance of the services provided by Victim Services. So concerning our final key area of community education and prevention, to increase community engagement, the following were observed and helped to elevate awareness. You can see February, Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, April, Child Abuse Prevention Month, July, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and October was Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As I draw this presentation to a close, I want to leave you with a poignant truth. The work that we do is not just a service, it's an urgent necessity. In Sutter County alone, the estimated total cost of child abuse and neglect reached a staggering $39.3 million just in 2022. This figure represents not just economic loss, but lost potential, shattered dreams, and fractured lives. Yet amid all these grim figures, we at the council do have a silver lining, and that's the potential for prevention. By concentrating our efforts on bolstering the protective factors within families and our communities, we're doing much more than just averting costs. We're making deliberate investments in the well-being, development, and future of our youngest residents. Our mission transcends protection. It's about cultivating and nurturing our community where our children can flourish, they can prosper, and they can emerge as positive contributors to our society. So to put this into perspective, the cost saved through prevention could enable 2,550 children to attend preschool. It could offer a 268 four-year college educations paid for, or it could purchase 85 median-priced homes in Sutter County. So these aren't just numbers, these are lifetimes of potential that we together can unlock. Furthermore, we know that our survivors of abuse are significantly more likely to encounter the criminal justice system, with 59% more likely to be arrested as juveniles and 28% more likely to have an adult criminal record. The cycle of abuse perpetuates a cycle of loss here in Sutter. Loss to individuals and loss to our entire community. So today, I'm asking that we all unite in a pledge to labor, to champion, and to constantly back our efforts that prevent harm before it happens. Our objective is defined, and our determination is certainly firm here at the Council. Collectively, we have the power to convert these financial figures into chances for prosperity, for each child to embrace a healthy beginning, for every young person to receive that education that they are entitled to, and for every family to secure a sanctuary that they can call home, proudly call home, here in Sutter. So our work continues, and we will not stop until we reach our goal of a safer, healthier, and thriving Sutter County for all. On behalf of the Domestic Violence and Child Abuse Prevention Council, thank you for standing with us in this essential and necessary mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. If nobody else has any questions, I got a couple.
Yes,
I wonder if staff could bring up pages 465 and 466 on this item. I thought the public would be interested in this data on 465. And so what it basically says is Yuba City's numbers are declining, and their numbers with children present is fairly consistent. But in Sutter County, the numbers are up both significantly in reporting and up significantly with children present.
Correct.
Maybe, can we make that bigger maybe for the public? Is that, yeah. Let's go to the first. Michelle, can you give us some insight on what you think is going on with this data?
Well, one of the things that we have discussed was the fact that during COVID, perhaps calls were not made as they needed to be.
Right.
I should defer it to our sheriff. He probably has better insights than I do as to what exactly is going on. But I do know that the reality of the calls being made is happening, which we want. We want our families who are in fear to reach out to our trusted law enforcement agents. And that's why we implemented that Handle with Care program and hope to expand it throughout Sutter County so all children who are at traumatic incidents, such as a domestic violence case, will have the resources and the whole family care wrapped around them within the school service, as well as all of our health and human services programs and projects.
And Michelle, I'd like to thank you for your service. I was reading that data, and I still don't understand how the city can be down during COVID and the county went up. But do you think we have a more serious problem in the, my question maybe is, do you think we have a more serious problem in the county than the city? Or do you think it's just a statistical anomaly?
There's a possibility that statistically more of our low-income communities, our marginalized communities, do have a higher incident of domestic violence. But I know, and I can promise you that within the Health and Human Services Division, we're doing all that we can to raise and elevate our families.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board before we have a take?
Through the chair?
Yes, Dan.
I just want to say thank you for your presentation. I just commend you on all the great work you do. I mean, really, it's about bringing awareness and helping set policy by speaking to us and then providing the services that you do. And I think it's really impressive what we do. And I appreciate the work that all of you do and all the staff does on all of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And no motions required, just a report only.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on, unless somebody else had a comment? No? Okay. Moving on. Item number 25. Taylor will present this as well.
Amendments to the Dangerous Fireworks Ordinance to increase fines consistent with state law and to allow for the recovery of response costs. Introduce an ordinance amending Chapter 485, waive the full reading, direct the clerk to read the title only, and continue the item to the April 23rd, 2024 board meeting for adoption.
All right, thank you again, supervisors. So before you right now is a request to amend our existing fireworks ordinance to increase the fines consistent with new state law that has essentially doubled the fines that we can charge for the use of illegal fireworks. We are also following updated state law to have an increased fine if a dangerous illegal firework is provided to minors, those under 18. And finally, we are adding a provision for the recovery of response costs by county staff who are involved in identifying and collecting essentially these dangerous fireworks. Now, part of the fines that we collect do go to the state for the disposal, but we do have a lot of local costs involved with identifying these fireworks, tracking them down, collecting them from people. As by way of background, the ordinance that we have for fireworks has been in effect since 2018. And since then, we've seen regionally, not just here in Sutter County, but the use of fireworks has really gone through the roof, and complaints have been, every 4th of July, we hear a new round of complaints. So based on that, we formed a working group out of the CAO's office that worked with the Sheriff's Office, Fire, County Council, and Emergency Services, as well as consulting with others, to essentially identify what are our options to try to get a little bit of control of this and do what we can here locally, while also respecting community values and vision for what we want to see in our community. We know there's a lot of people who enjoy fireworks, who enjoy celebrating. There's also people who really do not like them. So this ordinance here today is essentially finding a balance consistent with the state law. We're not making huge changes, but we are just coming up to code essentially with what we're allowed to charge. And also by adding the recovery of response costs, we're trying to give the tools to our Sheriff's Office, to our fire, to be able to go out there and if they do have costs involved with identifying fireworks usage, to recover that. There's just a little bit more in the larger background. There are two types of fireworks essentially in California. We have dangerous fireworks, which are illegal statewide unless it's a pyrotechnic show authorized by the state fire marshal. And then we have safe and sane fireworks, which is your roadside fireworks that are sold basically for a 2-week period around the 4th of July. And those benefit a lot of local organizations. So we do want to protect those. And this ordinance does nothing to restrict safe and sane fireworks. Those remain legal in Sutter County as they are consistent with state law. So we're not infringing on that at all. But what this does is this ordinance is an administrative ordinance that allows us to essentially, as a code compliance issue, to fine people for fireworks up to 25 pounds. So it's a more efficient and expedient way of charging someone for the use of dangerous and illegal fireworks without going through a full criminal prosecution. Using dangerous and illegal fireworks does remain a misdemeanor in the state of California, and that could be prosecuted by the DA's office. And I have consulted with the DA, and she's willing to look into doing that as well. A criminal prosecution, of course, takes longer, so generally these fines are more efficient for the county to use. Again, that's only up to 25 pounds, though. For larger amounts of fireworks, we do have the option to prosecute, and the fines in those cases are quite extreme. So we're going to also look at making the public more aware that, hey, if you're bringing in large amounts, if you're bringing in more than 25 pounds of fireworks, the fines for that could be up to a year in jail. It could be $10,000, $20,000, and up to $100,000 for certain amounts of dangerous and illegal fireworks. But just to wrap it up, what is before you today is just to update our administrative fines for doubling the fines consistent with state law, getting our response costs, and then increased fines if we provide them to minors. And with that, I would request approval.
Is there any public comment cards?
There are no public comment cards for this item.
Okay, is there any comments from the board for?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I wanted to ask a couple of questions before we moved on. So I assume the city will have exactly the same ordinance as the county? Taylor?
So, sorry.
We don't know that.
So Yuba City also has a fine provision for for illegal fireworks. Additionally, in Yuba City, they do limit slightly the window by which you can purchase safe and sane fireworks. So our window would be the state law window, which is slightly longer, a couple days on either side.
Okay, but
otherwise
the fine structure is all the same? Because I'd hate to see that one side of the street is one fine structure and the other side of the street, in many cases, not in the city, would be in another. So they'll all be the same. Go ahead, John.
I talked with Chief Alexander from Yuba City Fire. They are going to look to see how the. Is it on? Sorry. There we go.
There you go.
I'm short. Sorry. No, I've consulted with Chief Alexander from Yuba City Fire and their fire marshal, and they're going to be looking at mirroring the fine increases just like the state has done in their ordinance. The only thing that is different between our ordinance is the hours that we sell. They have amended some of that, but we stay exactly the same with our fines.
Good.
Will, hopefully.
This illegal fireworks thing is epidemic in not only the city, but in the county and rural community as well. So, and it is dangerous. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
And Supervisor,
okay, we had a motion, Carm, I believe, and Dan?
Just wanted to clarify that Live Oak also does have a fine ordinance, and so we'll be sure to communicate with them as well. We do have two cities.
Okay, good. We have a motion and a second.
I just want to make a comment. I agree with you, and I'm going to vote yes on this. I just find it amusing that the state cares more about fireworks than they do drugs and so forth. And Prop 47, it just blows me away. The fact that.
Yep. Exactly. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegemeier? Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye. Okay, moving on. Item 26, Steve. You're on deck.
An ordinance of the County of Sutter amending the Sutter County Ordinance Code by revising Chapter 485 pertaining to dangerous fireworks.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair and Supervisors. Just wanted to mention two quick things. Our next meeting is in 2 weeks. It's at River Valley High School at 10:30 a.m., so just giving folks a heads up. And then that Thursday at 6 p.m., in this location here, we have a budget study session for the fiscal year 24-25 budget. Thank you.
That's it, Steve? Okay. We have the current boards and commissions available under the vacancies. And then now we'll bring up for district reports and considerations of sympathy and honor of certain individuals. Mike?
I'd like to close a memory in Jerry Dollins of Live Oak, who passed away April 4th. That's all I have.
Anything else? Dan?
I'd just like to recognize former Mayor and City Councilman Wade Kirchner in the House today, so thank you for joining us. Appreciate it, and I have nothing further to report. Thank you.
He's incognito. Carm.
I'd like to request a letter of condolence and sympathy sent out to the families of Ranveer Beering. And I'd also like to request a proclamation for the Dispatcher Appreciation Week.
Okay. That's it, Carm?
That's it.
Okay, I only have two little short things. One is we voted on today to support the Wheatland bypass. We're not going to spend any money on it, but we are doing a letter of support and a proclamation as well. And then also we're looking at a letter of support, and I believe it's SB, and I'm trying to remember the number for sure. Isn't it SB 1160, Steve? Or
that sounds right. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the right number. Anyway, that's all right. This is a Senate bill in California where every gun you own, you would, for owning that privilege of owning that gun, you would pay the state of California $200 a pop. I think this is wrong. I think that people should have the right under the Second Amendment to own the guns they want, as long as they're legal, and that the state has no business taxing us on that. Anyway, that's proposed legislation. I'm sure that our wonderful governor would sign it. So I'll leave it at that. We're going to oppose it, unless there's...
Through the chair, I almost forgot. I'd like to do a certificate for Riley Lemonager and Cheyenne Hunt of Sutter, who received the Marion Hune Award this weekend. It's an award given out to very few individuals at the state, and they were the recipients, so it's a big deal. And that's it. Other than that, I'll put a motion.
Yep. Second. You got a motion and a second? Roll call.
Supervisor Flores? Aye. Supervisor Ziegemeier? Aye. Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Conant?
Aye.
Yuba-Sutter.LIVE's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at PlumasLakeSelfStorage.com.
In the heart of Yuba County's wine country lies a quiet estate, surrounded by tall pines, a lake with waterfowl and fish, and room to party. Eat hearty. Engage in nuptials.
I do.
Sit quietly by the fire pit and sample Yuba Foothills Vintner's finest. Frenchtown Inn, just 38 minutes from Marysville, a world away from cares.
Hi, I'm Neil Goforth of Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties. Caring for elders or even yourself has challenges. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties can help you address today's issues and plan for tomorrow with in-home and specialized care for you or your family members. Call us at 530-749-8800. Comfort Keepers of Yuba, Sutter, and Nevada counties.